for it's a little.
Little.
No, it wasn't little. It was like 3 feet. Stop it! I mean, Josh, see the Steph Curry news? Could be back for the season?
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think it's time to maybe consider benching Clay and have him do the
Stop! You don't actually mean that.
and have Jordan Poole back in the starting lineup.
I mean, Jordan Poole is a problem.
I think Clay's not it right now.
I have so many tabs open. Maybe that's why streams are. Alright. You ready to go live for the best audience on YouTube?
Yep.
We're about to do it on a Friday. You know they're bringing the fire. What's up, guys? Happy Friday, April 1st, 2022, man. I hope you guys are vibing out. Hopefully you guys are having a good end to your week. Fun weekend of sports. Our last weekend without baseball. Oh, it's going to be so glorious. Oh, I'm excited. And then, of course, we are just a couple weeks away from the end of the NBA season. So you got to get it while you can get it. And tonight we're going to get it because there's a lot of games. There's also a lot of value, a lot of studs, and a lot of studs that have decided to take the night off. Or their team decided for them. But that's what we train for. This is what we train for, people. We're out here to play the Terrence Manns and hopefully do like our boy Josh and win 100K to wrap it up. Shout out to the live chat. Double shout out to Jason Robinson. Today upgraded to the Baller Channel membership level. He hit that join button below. I'm sure he's going to link his Discord with his YouTube account. And when he does that today, he'll see the prop detector in the YouTube channel members only Discord channel. So how many times can I say channel in 3 sentences? Channel. Joined by Josh, the mad scientist, host of the morning show here on this channel. And it's becoming really popular. And yesterday I learned if I don't upload it by a certain time, people freak out. And I start getting death threats. So, Josh, don't get me killed out here, man. What's up, dog? You doing all right?
Yeah, man. Excited for a big slate today, Friday. Yeah, tomorrow, I just checked the schedule. Does not look good.
Yeah, it's not. So tomorrow I actually have considered canceling the afternoon stream. Maybe we still do some PrizePicks content, but the normal 2 p.m. stream that I've been doing with Coach, there'll only be like a 3-game main, and I just don't think we'll need to stream for that. So like I said, I did discuss it with Danny. Sunday's usually the day off. I think I'm going to take Sunday for some content, and then Monday there's no NBA games, so it would just trade Sunday for Monday. We're taking back Sunday.
But in terms of, you're gonna do the normal schedule 2 p.m. start
For tomorrow or for Sunday?
for Sunday.
For Sunday, so I think Sunday's slate could start an hour before usual, but I don't know for sure until they post it. So that would be the goal. The coach is scheduled for the DFS show, so I'll coordinate with him. But I would assume that we try to stick with the normal start time. But there's a chance that slate starts a little bit earlier than a typical slate. If they add, I think there was 2 games an hour before the normal start time. So we'll see if the Fanduel DraftKings Sunday also gives us like NASCAR and stuff like that. So I don't know.
Man, the slate tomorrow starts at 9:30 a.m. It's insane.
Not going to be able to do it. Not going to be able to do it. All right, let me adjust my Pistons lineup here before we go forward, man. But what's up, chat? You guys doing all right? Get them likes going, man. Get those vibes right. I am adjusting Pistons news like I said I would at the end of the PrizePicks stream. If you were here for the PrizePicks stream, I appreciate you. That was probably the record for most viewers on a PrizePicks stream. So shout out to you guys. We can't do it without you. As we also recently hit over 200 or 7K subscribers right here on this channel. Big milestone there. And now the race for 10K is on, but it starts slow. So I think 7,500 is my goal for this month. I'm trying to get 500 new subscribers in the month of April. And then we'll take baby steps. Hey, if I can do more than 500, I'll do more than 500. But for now, baby step it up, man. We are joined by an incredible chat today, Josh. I'm looking at these names. These are some GOAT level names. Mia Moore's in the chat. Skimmer's in the chat. Brian Anderson. Colin James in the chat. Keith Gordon. Steve Leibowitz. Lorenz is in the chat. JNY DFS is in the chat. Absolute power. Man, these are some legends. Solid picks. Says I'm going to need that OG intro music back for baseball season. Really? Okay. I thought this one took over. Hey, I got both, man. I got both. The Warriors are getting old right before Josh's face. Yeah. Oof, it does happen. Neville said I tried.
That's why you have it. So if your team is thriving and peaking, yeah, you gotta appreciate it.
Hey, man. So in baseball, if a team goes on a slump 3 weeks before the playoffs, that's a good thing. Get that out of the system.
Yeah.
What the freak?
It could go either way. Yeah.
Cats in here. Neville said, I try to warn you about them parachuting spiders. Man, this sucker was massive. I think it was a good 8-foot spider. I mean, it was. I mean, I looked over and there was a 10-foot spider just staring me in the face. I was like, and I was ready to fight it. And but yeah, anyway, the 12-foot spider hit me, and I killed it. I wrestled it. So we'll see where we can bury this 15-foot spider at. What up, Obi? What up, Crispy? Spider emojis. What up, Corey, Kiefer, EB, Doug in the chat, Sean V. Told y'all about Dwight Howard yesterday. I feel like I told you about. It was karma. It was gonna happen. Dwight Howard was destined. He was destined to do it. There's a college team that's the Spiders. Can't remember whom. That's ridiculous. Taking Back Sunday reference and Blink-182 the other day. I've seen it in college. Let's go EDC. We got the old school alt references. I'm with that. Chat, how many of you guys were in the beginning of the PrizePicks stream to relive the pain that was Josh's day? Because if you weren't, I'll tell the story again. So like if you didn't hear it and you want to hear it, maybe type 1 in the chat. If you did hear it, I don't need to repeat it, and I don't need to ruin Josh's moment then I won't. But if you want to hear Josh's bad beat from last night, I mean, this one's a Hall of Famer. Like, this is probably top 2 bad beat I've ever seen. It was bad. Like, it was bad, and it hurt, and it stung. If you were at the beginning of the PrizePicks stream, you saw it, you know it. He didn't mention it on his first look video. But I'll gladly tell the story. But if you already heard it, I don't need to tell it again. EDC says take. Oh, I already saw that one. Richmond? Abel Ramos says, "Gun, I heard all through YouTube you looking down the spider from." Yeah, man, it was huge. The thing was, I don't know. It was like a spider from when they reversed the laser on Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and it just blew stuff up, man. You missed it. Team Underground missed it. Colin James missed it. All right. Let's story time, boys and girls. every day before lock. Myself, Josh, members of the RunDFS.com VIP community, we're in the voice chat. We're hanging out. We're getting news. We're reacting to news. We're running usage rates. We're prop hunting. Making cards. Yesterday, it seemed like so many of the numbers that we were on was rapidly increasing in the prop betting world, PrizePicks world. It started to die down a little bit. Josh, he's been crushing PrizePicks lately. He's won more money than he literally cares to share. And yesterday he was like, all right, time to enter my daily $500 card. So he puts together this card. And here are the 4 lines that he selected. Jrue Holiday over 38 fantasy points. Paul George over 4.5 assists. Andre the Giant Drummond over 30 fantasy points. And Kevin Durant over 50 fantasy points. Puts it all together in the card. He feels solid about the research. He clicks submit. We've all been there. Projections have changed. So he looks at what changed. Kevin Durant went from 50 fantasy points to 51. It's just 1 fantasy point. That's what he says. That's not what I say. That's what Josh says. It's just 1 fantasy point. You ever the jukebox in the bar, the dive bar, stops. Every gambler in the room looks at him. You can't say that. Quinn, no, don't say that. I was like, you can't say that. You literally can't say that. But he puts the bet in, right? Instead of taking KD at 50 because he couldn't, they moved it to 51. So his $500 card is entered, and it's into existence. As the night progresses, Andre Drummond beats his 30 fantasy point projection. Paul George beats his 4.5 assist point projection. Jrue Holiday beats his 38 fantasy point projection. Kevin Durant, 50.9 fantasy points. 0.1 fantasy point is the difference in 5.
Can't make that up.
F's in chat. F's in chat.
Yeah, I'll never forget that.
So, today, if you are mourning in solidarity with Josh's bad beat, and you never want to be there, you have to hit that thumbs up. That's the only way.
Yeah.
It's the only way. Unreal. Just a devastating.
I just can't believe when I said, oh, it's just 1 point, and yeah, your guys' reaction, and I didn't even think about it, your reaction, until it happened.
What would that it would have paid out $5K, Colin James. $5K. But and you were running a little good in that card, like Drummond just barely you were getting the right side of the hooks. So maybe you ran a little too pure in some spots, and karma came back to get you. But what did he have? 7 turnovers?
6. Yeah.
6 turnovers.
That's
One less turnover.
Yeah. He played 45 minutes. That's playoff minutes. I blame Bruce Brown, which I also spoke into existence.
We did. There's literally a lot of full moon karma that we did. We did the Dwight Howard game, the Bruce Brown game, the KD 1 point.
Yep.
Moral of the story: shut your mouth. Don't tempt the demons of the gambling universe.
Yep.
Unreal. Absolutely unreal. Obi says I would have started drinking after that.
Yeah, right?
I mean, I'm writing poetry, right? Emo phase of life. I'm going to paint my fingernails black. Listen to Good Charlotte. Some Avril Lavigne.
Yeah.
It's a new era. Anyway, tonight's a new night, right? Last night was last night, but today is today, though. And
I might even run a DFS card tonight. I haven't done it in so long.
Oh man,
Maybe a $9 entry in Fanduel. Is that right?
They have a $9 entry, 100K to first, extremely top heavy. Not what you want, but what are you gonna do? Where do we start? All right, so let's start by explaining this slate. So it's gonna be easy to just set a standard for value and set a standard for ceiling. For a slate this big, this is gonna be one of those big slates where we actually get a ton of coagulated chalk, high ownership, just based on how much value is out there. So a lot of these games are really just not going to exist. I'm not going to exhaust too much time talking about it. So I'm going to foreshadow a little bit about what the slate is, and then as we go, we'll think about where the pivots are, who are the right plays, what's the good chalk, what's the bad chalk. So the big stories on this slate, first of all, the Kings and the Rockets. We're running back a very lucrative game from the other night, which was so high scoring, so many fantasy points, triple-double from KPJ. Jalen Green went off. Şengün was out that game. Look out for him and his status today. Damian Jones, big game. Trey Lyles, big game. Davion Mitchell, big game, big minutes for him. So we do like this game as a focal point to target. We're going to want to get access to this game, and there's really not 10, 11K, 12K studs in this game, but I do think there's a lot of fantasy points to be had in this game. Then we have the Clippers and the Bucks, and this is one of those games where if you bought tickets to this game and 2 days ago you thought there's a chance you're going to see Paul George and Giannis Antetokounmpo go at it, well, hey, best we can do is Amir Coffey and Grayson Allen, huh? What are you going to do, huh? All the starters for the Clippers out. They have 8 active. So they're going to be a huge source of minutes and a huge source of value. Guys like Luke Kennard under 4K on both FanDuel and DK. Terrence Mann could be pushing 40 minutes under 6K. We've seen what he can do in that type of opportunity. Rocco is really cheap on DK. On the Bucks side, no Giannis, no Drew, no Middleton. And while their bench is a little bit deeper than the Clippers, they're also going to be a big source of value. So a lot of lineups are just kind of coming preloaded, setting us up for studs and scrubs. We also have a Pistons team that has ruled out Marvin Bagley, Kelly Olynyk, Corey Joseph, and they are going to be without Jeremy Grant for the rest of the year. So we do get to isolate potential usage and minutes for them in a plus spot against the Thunder. We got the Grizzlies listed all of their starters as doubtful outside of Dylan Brooks. So they'll look like pretty solid value. And then that's kind of the story. So we're going to have plenty of low-end bargain bin value guys that can get us to the Jokic and the Luka Doncic's of the slate a little bit easier. So a lot of these mid-tier guys, these 6, 7, 8K, guys like, Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet, guys like that, they might just generally become overlooked because you feel like the most obvious path or the more logical path to success tonight is going to be studs and scrubs. And a lot of these other games do involve potentially lopsided spreads or low paces, stuff like that. So that is the atmosphere of the room. If you guys haven't been caught up, if you don't know, now you know. Raptors, Magic, game number 1. Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent Jr., OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, and Pascal Siakam taking on Cole Anthony, RJ Hampton, Franz Wagner, Chuma Okeke, and Mo Bamba. He's got hoes calling. Wendell Carter Jr. out, Jalen Suggs out. 216.5 total, 11-point spread in favor of the visiting Toronto Raptors. Raptors are heavily favored, and they are cruising into the playoffs. Abdul Hakim Swat. I don't want to misspeak that one, buddy. Appreciate that sub. I think the quick answer for this game in terms of my exposure to this, it's gonna be 0 to none. And if I do get exposure, it's probably gonna be a couple shots on homecoming narrative. Scotty Barnes, sure, 6,400 on FanDuel, that could fill a need. Siakam has played pretty well lately, a couple of big fantasy point games out of him, and you can make a case here and there that VanVleet, Trent Jr. get there. But At best, it's a lopsided game. At worst, it's a slow-paced game. On the Magic side, they are in full-on tank mode. If you've been monitoring the Magic rotations, it's go get some cardio in. Hey, Robin Lopez, you want to play? Birthday game for him. I mean, look at how many people were involved in the last game for the Magic. Don't touch him. There's no reason to touch him. So I'm done. No, not. Nope. Tracy Morgan gif from was it Bad Cop? Is that the name of the movie with Bruce Willis? I think it is. So Josh, are you in agreement with me? Like, this is borderline a full fade. If I wanted to take a couple dabs of Raptors, sure, but even that, like, I don't feel like I have to. Big slate. This probably shouldn't be a game of interest, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's the lowest implied total on the slate, I believe, and probably like one of the top 3 highest spreads. And you have a major tank team in the Magic that can't be trusted. Yeah, I would fade it.
Same. Okay. Well, moving on. Dallas Mavericks at the Washington Wizards. Project starting 5 for the Mavericks. Luka Doncic, Jalen Brunson, Reggie Bullock, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Dwight Powell taking on Tomas Satoransky, Kentavious Caldwell Pope, Corey Kispert, Rui Hachimura, and Kristaps Porzingis. Now we got bad blood. Now we got problems. Probably not, but how often can I reference Taylor Swift? 217.5 is our total, 8.5 point spread in favor of the Dallas Mavericks. This Porzingis versus Luka for the first time since the trade. Also, Spencer Dinwiddie back in Washington. So a little fun stuff to watch from a spectator standpoint. From a what means what standpoint, well, the Wizards are all but done here, but the Mavericks do have motivation to play to collect the dubs. They are tied with the Warriors in terms of wins, and they're only 2 games above the Jazz and the Nuggets in the win column. So the Jazz can retain home court advantage in the playoffs by winning the games, and they're supposed to win this game. So we look for Luka to play deep. We look for them to keep their starters out there as long as the game is within 20. Bing bong.
Cheyenne Gold super chatted $2. Edwards Lowe owned enough to differentiate chalk. FD.
Edwards, Anthony Edwards, maybe. That game's got a high total, so I don't think that's a crazy take. Appreciate that too. But yeah, I don't think that's a crazy take, and he's been cheap too. But anyway, the Mavericks trying to hold off the Warriors and Jazz here, the Jazz and the Nuggets really, but trying to hold off everyone, stay above these guys in the win column, and keep home court advantage in the playoffs. So if you get 35 plus implied minutes of Luka Doncic in a quasi-competitive game, he has every right to lead the slate in fantasy points. He has been leading slates in fantasy points, and if you looked at the slate yesterday, it was probably a coin flip between him and Jokic. Who do you want to prioritize more? Well, now that we have this value, the path to both of them becomes that much easier. It's also probably the road most traveled, but it makes a whole lot of sense. Right now, I've got Luka Doncic loading at 58.7 fantasy points on Fanduel, which is a decent chunk lower than Jokic. Jokic is anywhere from 9 to about 8 to 9 points lower in my projections than Jokic, but 2 highest raw point scorers for fantasy on the slate. Easy access. I'm gonna want exposure to Luka, and it's certainly a spot that we could take advantage of. So I will get to him. I do think Brunson and Jalen, Brunson and Spencer Dinwiddie, and really the rest of the Mavericks become very expendable. Because even 30 fantasy points at 6K on this slate is probably not going to mean a whole lot when we're going to get numbers like that from Terrence Mann, likely, from some of these Grizzlies, potentially the D'Anthony Meltons, guys like that. So for me, it's like only Luka. On the Wizards side, you could talk me into some Porzingis, but at 9K, I'm really going to want that 50 plus. How often do I get that? And then Satoransky, I like him from a prop betting standpoint. He's really taken over a traditional point guard role, a super pass first point guard role, and we've seen his assist percentage shoot up into the mid to high 30%. So it's really Luka. I might allow Sato on DK in the player pool, but if I got none of it, I'm not losing sleep. And then Porzingis. Talk to me about Porzingis, Josh. Is this Luka only for you in a DFS goggle with your DFS goggles on? And I guess I should also note that Danny Avdija has just been flirting with 30 fantasy points every game. But again, his 5,500 price point on a slate this big, that type of ceiling is a necessity.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna play Luka, I mean, I like the idea of running it back with Porzingis. He's running. The offense runs through him. Everything starts and stops there. With him getting at the top of the key and at the high post and just running it through there, pick and roll. Yeah, and he's racking up the stocks too, like we talked about. So there is a high ceiling there if he keeps that up. And maybe he plays a little motivated in this matchup back against Luka. But yeah, I mean, his minutes are the only concern. If he's gonna be capped at 30, and if he just gets 28 to 30 minutes, he's gonna have to get it done in limited time. What's your gut feel on him?
I just think, 9K on this slate, I'm going to need 50, 60 fantasy points. These bigger slates, I look for super science ceiling. And I don't know. And I'm not saying there's not a range of outcomes where he does that here, but I think this is going to be one of the slower paced games on the slate. So I'm just kind of going to take my chances elsewhere at that price range, use that type of money to get me some of the bigger studs. But I will get to Luka pretty heavily, pretty aggressively. Just because I've got him, top 2 on the slate in fantasy points right now, and top 2, that dog will hunt. So I'm with that. And I don't know any other upside on the Wizards. Even like Neto, even though we are kind of privy to him for prop betting for his assist line, stuff like that. From a DFS standpoint, Saturansky. What did I say?
You said Neto. He's
oh, okay, yeah. Saturansky, yeah. Rest in peace.
Very good.
Raul Neto.
I mean, at least he gets assists, unlike Caruso, who does just nothing out there, right? Like yesterday.
Yeah. Rebounds.
You were pretty mad at him, weren't you?
Hey, who's the bad beat guy here? Okay. you holding the shame today, buddy. It's okay though. But yeah, this is for Luka, and I'm moving on here. So let's move on to the Celtics. Celtics massive home favorites against the Indiana Pacers. Pacers projected starting 5: Tyrese Haliburton, Buddy Hield, Justin. The Andersons got tickets to the game. How'd they get tickets? O'Shea Brissett, Goga Bitadze. Up against Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Grant Williams, and Al Horford. We got 226.5 total, a 14.5 point spread in favor of the home team, Boston Celtics, from the Department of Redundancy Department. This is a hard game to target for fantasy because of how volatile the second half becomes for a team as good and spread out usage-wise for the Celtics. From a prop betting standpoint, we heavily discussed going at some first half totals. The Pacers, unlike the Pistons, have not been as scrappy. They will give us big, fat, juicy minutes when everyone's out for Haliburton, for Buddy Hield. But this is just one of the worst matchups in all of basketball, probably the worst. And I know they're without Robert Williams, but still a great team defense. You see that stat about Marcus Smart in coverage last game? He allowed 0 points. to everyone he was covering, so it's insane. Yeah, and if a guy like Buddy Hield, Haliburton, gonna rely on assists to be positive for fantasy tonight, I guess there's still a hole where points per dollar, the minutes and the usage for Haliburton and Hield a little too low on Fanduel, but I just don't feel overly enamored or compelled to roster them at any type of aggressive rate. I'm going to pull up the injury news and notes for the Pacers and see. It's usually the front court that game to game fluctuates. O'Shea Brissett officially questionable. By the way, Brogdon's questionable, but he's probably not going to play. Lower back soreness. Bitadze questionable, and Isaiah Jackson all questionable. So we could see Jalen Smith. We could see Terry Taylor stretch out. It's annoying. Isaiah Jackson headache. He's dealing with concussion symptoms. If they're all in, hopefully they will be sooner than later. We really don't have to worry about getting there. And I'm just going to go ahead and avoid it and give the respect with CK to the Celtics defense here. And yeah, chat, if you disagree here, if you think there's some upside, even in three quarters, like, I get it. Jason Tatum could drop 50 plus, 60 plus. Jaylen Brown has an upside. I might get to a sprinkle of Al Horford, Josh. I think his price point leaves a little meat on the bone if he only gets three quarters. We saw a more prolific rebounding outing in the absence of Robert Williams. We ran that query. He had like a team-leading total rebound percentage and a team-leading defensive rebounding percentage without Robert Williams on the court. So maybe we look at him for some great peripherals and rebounds and blocks to get him there. And he does get stocks. I think that's one of the more unsung parts of his game. 3 blocks, 3 steals, 2 steals. His defense, he got that good D. Who got that good D? Al Horford got. Okay, that just got weird. So I think there's some meat on the bone at his price point, even in limited minutes. And we've talked about him on PrizePicks first half. But another game for DFS. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If the Pacers, if Halliburton and Hill can keep it close somehow, I mean, it would be fancy gold for guys like Tatum and even especially Al Horford. I mean, the Pacers front court has just been awesome for us for fantasy. But my read is that this won't stay close, so I'm gonna probably just stay away on fantasy side and maybe consider some first half props for Horford for prop betting.
Josh, I'm gonna read a comment in chat. I don't know if you saw this. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Donald Leaper says Jaylen Brown hammered my cousin Letitia in a hotel in Charlotte last year, and he just left her there. I will never roster him because of that. She loved him.
Are we speaking something into existence here?
That he hit it and quit it. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, weird stuff like that stands out. I just, funny. I guess. I don't think it's true, but it's narrative. Okay, who's from Charlotte? Yeah. Who on the Pacers knows Letitia? Let's get to the bottom of this right friggin' now. Lance Stevenson probably knows. He seems like he's a networking kind of guy. I don't know. Guys, this slate gets better. I promise. These first couple games, though.
Yeah.
Couple dabs.
Yeah, that's good though. You can take your time. If you're gonna fade a lot of these first games, you can take your time building your rosters and lineups. So
yeah, 100%. All right, now it gets better. I told you it would. Kings at the Rockets. Project starting 5 for the Kings: Davion Mitchell, Justin Holiday, Harrison Barnes, Trey Lyles, Damian Jones. Taking on Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, Garrison Matthews, Jae'Sean Tate, and maybe, just maybe, Alperen Sengun. 234 total 3-point spread in favor of the visiting Sacramento Kings. This game was very fruitful for fantasy the other night, and not much has changed except Sengun could play this one, but maybe, just maybe he doesn't. He is currently questionable, dealing with an ankle, I believe it was. Let me double check that. Left leg contusion. If he can't play, we might get to run back some Usman Garuba and Bruno Fernando, and then I can lose more money on Jae'Sean Tate and Kenyon Martin, who I lost a lot of money on Jae'Sean Tate and Kenyon Martin. That was annoying, but I made it up on PrizePicks that night, so that was good. This is one of your favorite games on the site. I think this is the game. So
this is the game. Yeah.
Could you?
I mean, it's not for like. There's a bunch of games with awesome value, but just in terms of stackability and key targets. I mean, I don't see the game script being much different unless Sengun plays from the most recent game 2 days ago. Both these teams treated it like an all-star game with no defense and just let guys drive to the basket, get easy buckets, and shoot all day long with open threes. And yeah, like I said earlier in the PrizePicks show, both Kevin Kevin Porter Jr. and Jalen Green just dominated the usage like 100% when they were on the court. And when they did pass it, probably like over 90% of the time they were passing it between each other. They're going to take all the shots. So yeah, I really like both of them again today. I don't see why we would get off of them. And then on the Kings, so Davion Mitchell had a really good first half.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the start of the second half, the Rockets decided to double team him. I'm curious to see if they do that again today. They started trapping him. And if they do that, then yeah, it's going to lower his overall fantasy potential because he won't, be able to get buckets as easy, but he will be able to still get assists and stocks. So, and then, yeah, Trey Lyles played 36 minutes last game, and so did Damian Jones. Both, like, the Rockets' front court had no answer for both of them. So you could go right back to them. I mean, Damian Jones, his price didn't increase as much as I thought it would. So that's definitely live. The only concern with him is foul trouble, so that's about it. Which I'm not going to speak into existence.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean I'm in agreement with you on targeting this game pretty heavily.
And Josh Christopher, when he checks in, he's another ball hog. And every time, like, if he gets the ball, he's going to shoot. He's going to drive. His price is pretty decent, but yeah, he's just going to fall in the shadows of KPJ and Jalen Green. So,
okay, yeah, we like this game a lot for the prop side too. If you guys didn't catch the PrizePicks show, there was 4 or 5 props that we walked away from this game with, and I'm running right back to the well. I know this Kings front court. Just when you think you can trust them, you can't. Right? When you think don't do it. Just when you think you have all the answers, the Kings change the questions. Alex Len, Chimezi Metu, and I keep forgetting the kid's name. Kada? Yeah. One of these days, they're just going to pop off. But in the meantime, I'm going to trust the projections. I'm definitely going to get to an aggressive amount, a copious amount of Trey Lyles, Damian Jones, Davion Mitchell, and then KPJ, Jalen Green also styling and profiling really, really well for me. So yeah, beautiful game to target here. Let's get caught up on chat here. EDC says, I watched the last Rockets game. They doubled Davion. He had 16 first half points, 8 after they doubled him. I'm the second just cleared his point props with free throws at the end. Yeah, but Davion has shown that, like, even if he's not going to score, he can fill up the stat sheet, peripheral steals, and just the amount of minute equity against the Houston Rockets. Like, I'd probably roster you at 40 minutes against the Rockets. But I will say, like, I rostered a lot of Harrison Barnes, and also on the other side, I ran back a lot of Tate and a lot of KJ Martin. Those guys were not impactful. So hashtag DFS being what it is, the Dwight Howard effect. They're gonna go off today. It's gonna happen.
No! Don't say that. I mean, I would avoid those guys. Watching that game twice over, like, they just weren't even considered, and there's no offensive plays in that game. No. So they weren't even looking for guys like Tate, Matthews, and Martin when he was in. It was a KPJ, Jalen Green dunk 3-point show.
Yeah. All right. Clippers at the Bucks. This game is your value game of the night. Terrence Mann, Luke Kennard, Amir Coffee, like the drink. I'm tired, boss. Robert Covington, Ivica Zubac taking on George Hill, Wesley Matthews, Grayson Allen, Serge Ibaka, and Bobby Portis. Both lineups subject to change. What we do know is the Clippers have 8 live breathing bodies, and the Bucks, they're a little bit deeper on the bench, so they have a couple of ways to trick us. They could throw out Jordan Nwora, obviously. They could rest Serge Ibaka, vet, something like that, George Hill, something like that. And they got Wigginton and Thanasis and Antetokounmpo, Sandro. So they're a little bit harder to predict. I think we still want to, if we focus on the Bucks, I think I want to look at Grayson Allen, Bobby Portis. It's a 219 total. The Bucks are favored by 4. The name that stood out to me the most is Terrence Mann. He's under 6K on both FanDuel and DK. I'm getting nearly a 40 fantasy point projection. I just know he can be a do-it-all kind of guy. Stuff the stat sheet for me today. And just like Davion Mitchell, if we're going to give him this amount of minutes, I'm in. Luke Kennard's also intriguing to me. I was a little stung by him last night, but everything is different. Luke Kennard also likely to play upwards of 40 minutes here. And if he's under 4K, I think he could be in contention. Would you agree? Probably top 2, top 3 in shot attempts. Very good chance he's top 1 or top 2.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
100%.
And then Merrick Coffee, he'll play 70 minutes. May not be a great value play, but he'll play a lot of minutes.
Chuck Breeze.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Rocco was one of those guys I thought could be maybe a candidate for lesser minutes, just as a veteran that you definitely want involved in the playoff rotation. But at the same time, I can see them wanting his gas tank to get right. So we'll see. And then that front court, Hartenstein, Zubac, guys like that. So I think everyone on the Clippers is absolutely in play here because you get the full stack of team and for like 17K. There is a landmine. There's always a landmine. But you just kind of set your exposures and your randomness and hope that you get the right mix here. And that's what I'm going to do. I think Terrence Mann is potentially going to be my highest owned player. And I could, I haven't looked at ownership stat. Maybe some of you guys have a pulse. I feel like Terrence Mann is not going to be a secret. Could be top 1, top 2, top 3% owned on the slate. And I think we're going to see a lot of value in the top 5. We're going to see some Jokic's and some Doncic's in the top 5 as well in ownership. The Bucks side, Bobby Portis was popping the biggest projection for me. And at 5K on Fanduel, boy, I'm going to have to light an incense and do some meditating on what I want to do at that price point for Bobby Portis. Because I absolutely could see him obliterating 5K. You talked about he hasn't looked the same lately. His role's kind of evolved. Like he went from starting to the bench and whatnot. But man, sometimes the humanistic side loses out to the robotic side, and 5K is 5K. And this Clippers front court has been a lucrative spot all year, so I'm still gonna get to him, and that's what I'm saying. I really gotta meditate on how much 5K Serge Ibaka is too much or too little. So lot to like here, chat. Let me know who you're digging. Top 4, rank this game from your favorite 4. I think if I had to do it, it's Man, and this is FanDuel. Man, Portis, Kennard, and I'm flimsy on that 4th one, man. I think there's a ceiling in Zubac worth chasing, but I'm still not sold on his minutes. I wish Hartenstein was a little bit cheaper.
Oh yeah, well they spiked him on FanDuel, didn't they?
I mean, he's been crushing it. So, and then I don't know, maybe Content had a good start last night. What about what is this Carter kid doing? I got him for a lot of minutes, so let's go look at what he put up last night, or minutes wise what he put up last night against the Brooklyn.
He's more of like a deep defensive minded guy.
Okay. Yeah, he didn't really touch the court last night, but he should get some run today. So I guess that 4th one I'm a little stung on, but I think it could end up being a lot of Clippers, a lot. What are you thinking here? Are you with me? Like Man, Kennard, almost in everything. Like these are probably going to be 2 of my highest owned guys. I think they'll work well together. It sounded like you had a little bit more hesitation on Bobby Portis than me from a eye test standpoint, but man, the points per dollar at 5K versus my projection is insane.
And it's the Clippers too. That's like been a gold standard rule for us. Bigs against Clippers. Yeah, I mean, I might do it. I mean, just in hope that it's a bounce back spot for him due to circumstance. Yeah, so I'm probably right there with you. I'd do Man first, Portis 2. I really want to get on Rocco just because of the stock potential, and if he can make some threes on top of that, and maybe maybe he does get close to 35 minutes because he has been part of the cleanup crew and garbage time crew over this last month. So it doesn't seem like Ty Lue really is concerned about his stamina or injury status. So, yeah, if he can get 35 to 38 minutes as well, then I would like him as my number 3. And then Kennard at 4. That would be my ranking.
I asked for people to rank their top 4. OB says Man, Portis, Kennard, and either Rocco or Pat Connaughton. Manny Queller says Nwora, Coffee, Kennard, Portis. No Man? Come on, man. And boy My boy Doug says Portis, Nwora, Hartenstein, Kennard. So I think Jordan Nwora is he's going to look really good. He's min-priced on both sides. And it really is going to come down to like the minutes here. Nwora can be a bucket.
What happened? He used to play a lot of minutes when these guys were out.
Yeah, we've seen him start in this scenario, and I think he still could. I'm not locked into Ibaka starting, but yeah, Nwora can be a PPM guy, but he's certainly been a chalk value guy in the past and really kind of let us down. And there's going to be some flimsy landmine value today where 18 to 22 just won't get it done on a slate this big. But I'm not saying Nwora is that guy, but I think at his price, yeah, Nwora is going to probably be chalked by accident, if nothing else. Right? He's just way too cheap. And if he got to a big minute count, he's going to project as an insane value. But yes, I do worry about the 35 minutes, 23 fantasy points. You know what I mean? Like, he does have an ability to kind of underwhelm. So maybe I just completely do whatever the field is doing and do the opposite. And that's what it is. Like, I can see he can be a good play. He could also bust if he's 40, 50% owned. Maybe I'll just look to skin a cat the other way because there's going to be a ton of chalk tonight. And I'm going to have to decide which chalk I'm rolling with, which chalk I'm not. And I don't have a strong read on Nwora. Right now I'm getting a point per minute projection, but I only got at 21 minutes, and I could easily see him getting 30 minutes. So that's definitely a gut call. So don't let Gunn push it one way or the other because he absolutely could smash tonight. What up, Blah? Doing all right. Corey says Kennard, Nwora, Man, Hartenstein. Okay. No Portis in that one. Portis, Man, Matthew, Kennard. What's up, Matthew? Oh, Wesley Matthews? Really? I didn't even think about him. Maybe I'm sleeping, chat.
He's on my hate list right now.
I haven't played Wesley Matthews since like the Blazers. I guess that's probably not true. I probably played him a game or two with like Dallas, but
he should have got a flagrant foul on KD, and KD should have got an extra free throw at the end there.
What would a free throw meant to you, Josh? Why does it matter?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, Wesley Matthews love in the chat. I don't know, man. So see, like I said, not all value is great value if you're trying to win a tournament tonight, right? These guys return 20. Yeah, it's gonna be 9x or 10x. No, probably 8x. But that may not matter. You might just need 30 minimum from each spot. Coach K is going to be so proud of Kennard and Allen tonight. Let's go. Allen's just going to be chopping everyone's knees. Danny says, I went livers over Nwora. Okay. I think definitely those moves might shape the slate. Pat Connaughton hasn't gained his legs yet. Did he die off? I was looking at halftime last night before I took a nap because I'm old and I wanted to play video games at midnight. And he was crushing it. He had 19. I guess, yeah, he did fizzle out. So, yeah, I mean, this is certainly a big puzzle piece of the slate is getting the Bucks right. But, I mean, Chad, is there merit in just, like, taking some Portis or one guy you feel good about and maybe not even worrying about Nwora, Thanasis, and just taking the Clippers, the Grizzlies value, and going from there? And I think that might be something I do so I don't just, like, punt, because for me the most likely outcome is that most of these Bucks aren't slate breakers. Maybe 1, 2, or 3 can be really impactful to be optimal, but I do feel like if we start getting some ridiculous, not to say ridiculous, but 10 to 20% ownership on the Connaughtons, the Carters, Noors, guys like that, not all of them are going to be great. So I might just look the other way and hope that there's several roads that lead to greatness tonight. What up, Keg? Shout out to Keg in the chat. I played Wesley with the Bucks when the guy sat before him won. Okay. Javon Carter. So I don't have a lean on Carter. Josh, we didn't even talk about Javon Carter. He didn't get minute. He got 1 minute last night, or 24 seconds last night. So I guess this would be. Is there a coach speak supporting, like Budenholzer wanting to give? I mean, it makes sense. Like, this is a complete punt game. Get this guy out there, but I think we're kind of going on a hunch, right? 23 minutes against Memphis, 28 minutes against Minnesota, 27 fantasy points. I mean, he could hit, but like I don't want to be lying to you guys about what I'm expecting from Javon Carter.
He doesn't shoot much.
I will say I do have him for 28 minutes. It's about a point per minute. If that means something to you, take it. But I'm certainly not leaning one way or the other on him. I'm not going to pretend like I have a strong read on that one. Colin, I feel like everyone on these big slates, a ton of value. The middle balance lineups ends up taking all the money. Maybe, Colin. I don't know, man. If Luka and Jokic do what they're supposed to do, flirt with 60, 70 fantasy points. Raw points are raw points. And if you're going to get, and this time of year, every year, last 5-6 games of the season, you're seeing full punt rotations. You're getting G Leaguers playing 4 quarters, stuff like that. So we're getting a taste of what's to come. Key for Detroit is a sneaky play. Okay. Red Rover, we call it. Yeah, maybe. All right, so that's what we're dealing with. Clippers and Bucks. Don't get it wrong. And you win the slate. It's that simple. Pistons at the Thunder. Speaking of simple. Killian Hayes, Cade Cunningham, Sadiq Bey, Isaiah Livers, Isaiah Stewart, taking on Teo Maledon, Vic Krejci, Aaron Wiggins, Alexei Pokusevsky, and Isaiah Roby. You got 221 total, 5 points spread in favor of the visiting Pistons. The Pistons rolled out Marvin Bagley, Kelly Olynyk, and Corey Joseph. We already know Jeremy Grant shut down. So we could get some really big minutes for this Pistons starting lineup and really high usage rates on top of what we've already been getting for Cade Cunningham and then Isaiah Stewart. So Josh, remember I told you on the stream, on the PrizePicks stream, that I thought I would have Isaiah Stewart up to 32, maybe even more minutes. I did get him to 32 minutes, and they got me to 38 and a half fantasy points. So for those of us that were looking at that, what was it, 30 fantasy points on PrizePicks? Yeah. Well, my projections adjusted and liked the over as kind of expected. And if we looked at last night's rotation, if you guys missed out on that, if you guys missed the Detroit Pistons game, what are you doing? But no, you should have watched it. One, I mean, we definitely talked about how scrappy they've been. All right, these double-digit point spreads, they haven't been getting smoked, and they actually stole one against the Sixers last night. But Kelly Olynyk was playing direct opposite of Isaiah Stewart, and Olynyk's not there today. Marvin Bagley, not there today. He represents 24 minutes, and then we might be looking at Key and Livers and guys like that. So that's why I'm willing to stretch Isaiah Stewart from maybe a 27, 28-minute projection to 32 or greater. I'm going to stop at 32 because I think a 32-minute projection gives me what I need for him to land aggressively in my lineups tonight, because all year long we've been targeting the Oklahoma City Thunder and their front court. I believe they allowed the most fantasy points per game to opposing centers with their carousel of guys in the front court. No, they're second behind the Houston Rockets, so shout out to Damian Jones. So I'm going to be all about some Isaiah Stewart tonight, and Isaiah Stewart averages over a block per game. The Thunder allow the second most blocks per game in the league. Those plus threes will add up pretty quickly on Fanduel. And he's power forward eligible, so I like that. He fits right there. It allows him to still get to Jokic in that center spot. So I like a lot about this game. I feel like a bug just flew in my mouth. You ever see that clip? What the was that? I'm tired of this. Yeah. So this is one of those spots where, especially for prop betting, lines are really sharp on Lucas at this rate. Jokic, you got to pay up. But this is, these are two lackluster teams going at it. Not a lot of casual fans that are going to know what to expect here. And this is kind of where we shine. I would say Cade Cunningham at 8,300 on FanDuel. Yeah, give me that. I got a 50 fantasy point projection coming from that. Sadiq Bey could pick up some scoring here. 5,600 on FanDuel versus 72 on DK. That's a big discrepancy in price. I like that. And Isaiah Stewart, I like that. Livers will make sense. I use bare bones min price on both sites. And I think somebody in chat said they played him over Jordan Nwora. Right now, my projections kind of agree with that. But like I said, I don't want to be the swing vote for you guys. I want you to go with your gut on that one. But there's a lot to like from the Pistons, Josh. What are you liking?
Yeah, I really like Cade and Stewart for sure. Just how thin they are, especially on the front court. Like, what do you predict they're gonna do when they sub them out? Just go small?
So if Garza's still out, I don't know. I think somebody in chat said he was, but it could be lingering.
I thought he was in the G League now, unless they recalled him.
I saw that he was listed out, or no, because he's been upgraded to questionable. He was out yesterday against the Sixers due to a sprained left ankle. So he has been bouncing back and forth from the G League. So I guess we would bing bong.
Living with Damon super chatted $4.99. This is an excellent Defutine show.
Oh, they didn't get the curse word this time. Okay, Damron. Appreciate that 5. Damron now swinging the biggest D of the month. So yeah, I guess we would watch Luka, but like I don't really care. But you're saying what would they do with the front court rotation? I don't know. I think who we see starting is probably going to be the lion's share of the minutes in the front court. So I'm looking at Livers. I'm looking at Isaiah Stewart. Looking at a couple projected starting lineups out there. I guess I'm going to see what RotoWire's got out.
I guess what I was getting at is like Stewart could play 38 minutes here, 38 to 40 minutes.
He could. That would be aggressive. We know he can be hack happy. He could.
Oh.
But I only need 32, 33 to get the projection I need for him to be optimal.
Yeah, I mean...
Because if I put 38 in it, it's going to give me like 50 right now.
Well, against the Knicks, he pushed 38 minutes and finished with 32 fantasy points.
Knicks slower pace, not this front court defense that the Thunder is.
No, I'm just saying he has the ability...
To play 38? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's fair. Looking at RotoWire for their starting... Yeah, they have the same thing that I have, so...
I guess Braxton would come in and play the 5.
Braxton would be key.
You're cutting out.
Oh, I said Braxton. Oh, God dang it! Now it's not as funny. All right, pretend I didn't say nothing, chat. Braxton would be key.
Oh, I got you. All right, yeah. Are you gonna play him?
I don't know. So I got him for 24 minutes. That's giving me 29. I mean, there's like a whole group of min price. Who's that I'm getting at like 28, 29 fantasy points. So I might just put them all in a bowl, mix it up. Because I'm gonna punch out 150 tonight.
Yeah, I mean he's small forward on Fanduel, and he's probably gonna get minutes at the 5 against OKC. So that's pretty good value. You're getting a small forward playing at the 5.
Mm-hmm. And he has been part of the rotation lately. 16 minutes last night. That Embiid front court. Then against the Nets, he got 23 minutes. So 16, 20 minutes. No Olynyk, no Bagley. There's definitely some room for that 23 to become 28. I stopped at 28. Or I stopped at 24. But if it got to 28, are we shocked? No. A lot of value here. Chat says Garza won't be at the game tonight. He's in the G League. He's dating my sister's husband. Second cousin. All right, Donald. It was cute for the Jaylen Brown. Now it's just getting weird, bro. Now it's just getting weird. Seeing Garza out. All right, that's good to know. We'll keep tabs on that. If Garza's out, then yeah, I feel better about the Stewart minutes. Okay, we've got a couple games left on the docket. I guess we got to pay some bills here. Do a plug real quick. 2 things. First of all, if you guys want access to my projections, my player pool, all that cool stuff, definitely go to rundfs.com, click on VIP memberships, and scroll down. Find something that's right for you. There's only a couple days left to get that MLB season pass, and it's not just for MLB. You're going to get the rest of NBA. You'll get the first month or so of NFL. You get the entire MLB season. Smeezy's been running the NASCAR coverage, and then, of course, those guys in there are grinding everything. There's golf. Our boy Luke, he puts up great golf content right here on YouTube. He'll answer some questions in the Discord. You guys want to check that out. The esports guys in the PrizePicks channel, you guys are nuts and psychos, but I love you guys for it. So it's just an incredible community that it's not just the stuff I spearhead. The community itself is making it a valuable click. So if you get that $300 season pass, it comes with a $100 credit towards Fantasy Cruncher. So essentially it gets a $200 coverage until October 5th. That's literally insane. Why not? And then a lot of our content right now has been geared, not say a lot, we have geared a lot of content towards the prop betting world. We've been having this player prop tab in the spreadsheet, but as you've seen on this channel, we've taken a big step forward into producing a lot of PrizePicks-centric content. If you guys still have yet to make that click, get on PrizePicks, especially these bigger slates down the stretch where you're going to get some wonky rotations. If you just ain't got the patience, or you got a life, you got a wife that wants you away from the computer after lock, PrizePicks is the solution to just get your tickets in. And you don't have to worry about late swap. You don't have to worry about sharks with 150 lineups being able to take advantage of that 10 p.m. must-have value that opened up because X, Y, and Z got ruled out. It's so much simpler, and there's so much great content that we've been throwing out, and that's on YouTube. Shout out to Craig Kegs in the chat. He puts up a lot of videos every day. So definitely take advantage of that, and it's gonna be fun in the next week or so. We'll be able to put like strikeout props together with our NBA props. That'll be fun. Mix a couple different sports. So if you haven't signed up, sign up. Use code GUNDACKER. They'll show me some love once a month. So signing up with my code, another great way to support the channel. Support these streams, keeping them free, and then make yourself some money. And Josh, even though Josh had that bad beat last night, he has been absolutely killing it.
Yeah, I deserved it. You gotta feel the bad beats.
You do. It makes you feel alive.
Yeah.
Makes you feel alive. It's stupid. Hey guys, we also have a free Discord. So, if you're balling on a budget, that's cool too. What am I doing? There's so many. Okay. I hit the wrong scenes. My bad. I don't have a producer, guys. It's just me looking at the left screen. We have a free Discord. Link to that's in the description below. That free community is nuts. Get in there. Keep the vibes right. We've got 3 games left on the docket, 4 games left on the docket tonight. Josh, real quick, we'll discuss the Suns and the Grizzlies, a suspicious 7.5-point spread in favor of the visiting Phoenix Suns. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, McCall Bridges, Jay Crowder, DeAndre Ayton taking on Anthony Melton, Zaire Williams, Dylan Brooks, Brandon Clark, Xavier Tillman. The entire starting lineup for the Memphis Grizzlies was doubtful. Has there been any news since then to change this? Let's see. NBA. RunDFS.com. NBA. So I mean, we expect them all to sit, and this is another pushback to maybe the situation for Milwaukee, because there's a lot of implied value here, right? Some DeAnthony Melton, big minutes here. A couple news came out, but nothing big here. So we got DeAnthony Melton. I'm getting a 40-plus fantasy point projection on him at 5K-ish. Zaire Williams, I'm never going to get a big projection. We've seen him start. Dylan Brooks, a normal starter. We know his usage rate can be super high here. Brandon Clark, 44, 4K. Hey, if I take Brandon Clark's range of outcomes and his floor to ceiling ratio versus that of maybe a Jordan Wall or guys like that I'm a little bit more fluky about, I'm fine. Like, I think all that can maybe even out in the wash. I'm taking Brandon Clark quite a bit. Xavier Tillman, so much value here. I get it. Suns, tough matchup, blah, 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 but minutes equal money. A lot of potential minutes on this Grizzlies side. Even looking towards this bench, a guy like John Concher can do well. I don't know that I get too crazy with like Santi Aldama, guys like that, but hey, do you, boo-boo. But Suns, I don't think the Suns should be 7.5 points favorites here. I think they should be like 13.5.
Yeah, they might punt, right?
Yeah, and if there's any team, the Bucks are doing, the Clippers are doing, the Suns literally have nothing to play for. Yep. They have locked in the Western Conference. So I don't know. It just makes you feel. I mean, we were skeptical about the 4-point spread against the Warriors. Warriors hung in there, but yeah, this 7.5 feels like it's a little too light. So I would not be surprised if we got a Chris Paul rest or Devin Booker or something like that, or if they just in game ended up being restricted, and that's just conspiracy cap. Vegas is knowing something. So with that said, I probably fade all of Phoenix and I load up on the Memphis.
Pain if Chris Paul's ruled out.
So here's the thing with that. Well, if he got ruled out, sure, I'd probably get there. But they do have Cameron Johnson back, and I do think. Cameron Johnson needs to get some minutes in, right? Get his wins right. So I think he gets minutes. But I would say if Chris Paul got ruled out, Cameron Payne would profile extremely well.
Okay. Yeah, I think Chris Paul would rest. I mean, unless they're trying to get him fully conditioned. I mean, if you know you're gonna get the full starters, I mean,
can't do it.
And it's only a 7-point spread. Can you get on them, or are you just?
I mean, I guess if the line never moves, sure. and we're just talking like unrealized potential, like by the field in terms of ownership. Like I can't see the field loading up on Paul and Booker here. Even Ayton. I know JaVale McGee looks like he's going to be back. Did PrizePicks ever give us like an Ayton double? Ayton. No, they have him at 11 rebounds, 34 fantasy points. So I probably from this far out, I'm going to be non-committal. I have a fear of a commitment, bro. I can't. But if we get Locke and they're full sending it, I definitely wouldn't hate the tournament game theory behind clicking a Chris Paul or a Devin Booker or even an Ayton at sub 7K on FanDuel. But from where I stand right now, something ain't right. Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. Let's get caught up on chat. EDC says, I'm doing a 2-week pass once baseball starts and NBA ends. Test the waters. We'll be waiting for you, man. Definitely, we hit different for baseball, I promise. I'm going to be super busy for that first week of baseball because I have to serve a bunch of different content stuff. You like Poku over 4.5 assists? I didn't have a strong lean on that, but Poku is a do-it-all kind of guy.
He's like a mini Giddy.
Gunn's going to make a great dad with all those jokes in the world. I have a 13-year-old kid. I'm older than you guys might think I am. Brooks having over 20 shots, him and Melton. Yeah, I like that. Melton's another do-it-all kind of guy, kind of like Terrence Mann. So I think Melton's going to be a fixture in my lineups tonight. All right, Blazers at the Spurs. Brandon Williams, Keldon Johnson. What the heck? Why did I type Keldon Johnson? CJ Ellaby, Greg Brown, Drew Eubanks. Maybe I meant Keldon Blevins. I don't know. DeJounte Murray, Josh Primo, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, actually. Jakob Poeltl taking on with a 231.5 spread. A fifth, god dang it, cut, as Josh would say, retake. But they don't know that. When I have to edit Josh's videos, I'll be editing stuff, and then he goes, retake. And I'm just like, man, I just edited 5 segments, bro. Delete, retake. Blazers at the Spurs.
Sometimes they do it on purpose, chat.
231.5 total. A 15-point spread in favor of the home team San Antonio Spurs. So the Spurs are mighty favorites here. And typically this 15-point spread is like, oh, it's going to be a blowout. We got to stay away. But we are getting at a point of the season where the sense of urgency for the Spurs to win and not blow games, it doesn't get any higher. The Spurs are trying to hold off the Lakers. Lakers are in an Oreo around the Spurs. They're the Spurs are the cream in a Pelicans-Lakers Oreo for that play-in spot, right? Now I'm hungry. So if the Spurs can maintain this pace, stay above the Lakers with a win, if the Lakers beat the Pelicans tonight, they'll keep that win-loss record. I think the Spurs might have the tiebreaker, but don't quote me on that. But what I'm getting at is they have to win. So even if they're up 15, 18, you do think that the Spurs probably keep it going, keep the foot on the throat, and unless Portland obviously raises the white flag, you can't risk any type of shenanigans here. So I like the thought of getting to DeJounte. Obviously, I'm not going to get to him as aggressively as I will a guy like Luka Doncic at that guard spot. But DeJounte has 70 fantasy point potential tonight, so I'm going to get to him. And I think at 10.8 on FanDuel, 11.4 on DK, I'm kind of looking past the price and just absolving the raw point potential. And when we look at our fantasy point projections for the night, I got Jokic, I got Doncic, then I got DeJounte Murray right there. And DeJounte is not that far behind Luka in my last run projections. Bing bong.
Living with Downey super chatted $4.99. Melton out. That changes a lot.
Oh, dude,
if
what?
it were true. April Fool's
God dang
Currencies.
it. Yeah, I hate you. He actually got me, bro. He got me, bro. That was a good one because like I could believe it. Fudge. All right. Shout out to Damron. Damron swinging that big D of the month, $9.98. You could beat him with a $10 dono. Don't let Damron be swinging around here, bro. So I like the thought of DeJounte for tournaments. I definitely think there's a range of outcomes where he's top 2 scorer, and he could be top 1. I think that's a lower range of outcome, but it's still a range of outcome. And Keldon Johnson, he has some making up to do after missing the layup to help the Spurs out that last game. And then on the Blazers side, Josh, this has been kind of your guilty pleasure. Are we priced out of getting to them? I mean, Brandon Williams is 7K on a slate like this. Drew Eubanks is almost 8K. You need that 40 plus. Would you stay away?
Revenge narrative. It's always there for Revenge Friday. I don't know. These two teams just recently played, and the Spurs were winning by like 30 the entire game, ever since like the second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So that just makes me real nervous, especially with DeJounte's price tag. But if the Blazers keep it close like they did against the Pelicans, and that which really surprised me, with a fully healthy Pelicans team, that game was close pretty much the end.
Yeah.
And if they do that, and DeJounte can get his normal 38 minute run, I mean, yeah, he would easily crush it for probably 60 to 70 fantasy points. So I get it for chasing the ceiling on him. It's high risk in my opinion.
It is, but that's the point of it. It's a little riskier, and we might get lower ownership for a projection that is right up there with the top two. So I don't know.
You think he'll be like the lowest owned of the top spend-ups?
Absolutely. Jokic and Doncic over DeJounte. And I say that as someone who hasn't looked at ownership projections. I just assume that he's not going to be near those two because he's a 15-point spread. We don't have that with the other two.
Yeah, and you have LeBron there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And I'm not saying I need 50%. I can get leverage on the field probably at 15 to 16% and not feel like I'm missing out. Because he's such a do-it-all player, and I've also often compared DeJounte Murray to everyone that's currently in the chat room, right? Triple-double threats, guys that can hit that sub button, type comments in chat, and hit that like button. That's the triple-double. Have you logged your triple-double yet? If you haven't, bro, you're not hitting value. I need you to break the slate and do it. Get that triple-double logged. Let's get that race to 8K subs going. We're already 25 subs over 7K. And, hey, it'd be nice if any video we do gets 100 likes. So triple digits would be nice. B, DeJounte, what can you do? Ask not what Gun can do for you. Ask what you can do to be DeJounte Murray for Gun. And you can do that by logging your triple-double. All right, let's matriculate on to the next game. Only got a couple of them. We got the Minnesota Timberwolves at the Denver Nuggets. We've got a projected starting lineup for the T-Wolves. Patrick Beverley, D'Angelo Russell crossing over with Anthony Edwards, Jared Vanderbilt, and Karl Anthony Towns. The Big Cat, Ernie Ladd, taking on Monte Morris, Will Barton, Aaron Gordon, Jeff Green, and Nikola Jokic. A 242.5 total, 2.5 point spread in favor of the home team Denver Nuggets. 242.5 total, 2.5 point spread in favor of the Denver Nuggets. But you don't hear me though. A 242.5 total for the Denver Nuggets. Josh, that's Jokic dropping 90, huh? That's a big boy total. So yeah.
Why did it go up so much? It did not open at that. It was like around 233 or something last night.
Wait, did it? That's a massive boost. If maybe I got it wrong.
I think it was like 234, 235. It was the highest when I checked.
Oh, I'm the highest total in the room. Yeah, 242. Looking at it with my own two eyes. That's massive. That's literally crazy. What do we do? Well, we play Nikola Jokic first of all. Then what do we do from there? Well, hey, on Fanduel, D'Angelo Russell, really cheap, 5,400. I get it. Game to game, they haven't been that great. But when I start considering the totals and the possessions and all the unquantifiables that are quantifiable, the fact that the Timberwolves could jump the Nuggets if they finish strong here. The Nuggets go backwards. The Nuggets would like to win because they're 2 games back from the Warriors and Mavericks, and the home court advantage means a little something more for Denver and Utah than those teams. So yeah, they're gonna go out there and play their butts off. It makes a lot of sense. So I'm gonna target this game. I'm gonna trust the line here, and Jokic is gonna be a premier click on this slate. And while we have discussed a couple of value centers like Isaiah Stewart, those guys on Fanduel are power forward eligible. So I don't feel like I'm losing out on Jokic, and he's going to, if he doesn't lead the slate and score in fantasy points, he probably leads the position. And if he wins the position, I want it. So I'm just going to go crazy with Jokic tonight. Hiccup. Also, I'm drunk. I'm not drunk. That's a joke. I never drink. The T-Wolves, though, the big three, they become a little bit more hard to predict, right? We know that they can vulture each other. I think Cat, something we discussed ad nauseum with his foul propensity. He's third in the league in fouls for 36. I still have this up from the PrizePicks stream. Jae'Sean Tate's number 1. Jaren Jackson Jr. is number 2. Karl-Anthony Towns, number 3. And fouls for 36. So he can start hacking, and that is something that bodes well for a guy like Nikola Jokic, and that's why we were on Jokic's free throw prop for PrizePicks. So maybe put that in your back burner if you did hang out for the PrizePicks stream. So Josh, let's game theory this one, and let's make a podium. Chat, you guys make a podium. All the value on the slate, it opens up for a game like this where we get some beef. Jokic is obviously at the top of the podium. Who would you go down to the next two? Is it Anthony Edwards or
I would say
what?
I would say D'Lo and Edwards. I mean, we've seen the Nuggets all season struggle against guards and combo guards and forwards like Edwards. They just can't. Yeah, they can't stop him. So if we think that Cat runs the risk of foul potential like he has over the last 5 consecutive games, especially against Jokic, I think Jokic is like 3rd maybe on drawn fouls behind Embiid and Harden. So I think that there's a very high probability that he will rack up the fouls and be in foul trouble. But yeah, D'Lo is so cheap on FanDuel. You're muted.
Oh, and D'Lo, I knew that. What? This is for lip readers out there. I wanted to mess with the closed captioning lady. Hi, Susan. How are you doing? How the kids? Yeah, D-Russ, Edwards are definitely in the blender for me, and if they fall, they fall. I could see myself not getting to as much Edwards just because of how much beef is at the small, or the value at small forward and shooting guard.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have them in the mix because they do have a ceiling worth having, and if we game script a little bit of foul trouble for Cat, just helps them that much more. So, a lot to like here. I do think one of Will Barton or Aaron Gordon, it feels like it's not just Jokic here. Like, I had this feeling against Charlotte, and it ended up being an Aaron Gordon spot as well. Just a fast-paced kind of spot where somebody else has to also overperform at their salary. It's going to be pretty hard when you're implied to drop 122 points for it to just be Jokic as a potential DFS play, right? So I do think there's meat on the bone for Morris, Barton, Gordon, and maybe Bones Highland, although I just can't get 5K out there for Bones Highland tonight. And maybe Cat talks too much trash to Boogie and they get double ejected. I don't know. But yeah. Chat, what are you guys doing on this one? If not, Beasley's now listed as questionable. Okay. You can't hear Josh? I can hear Josh. And now I feel like everything's a April Fool's joke.
Oh, right.
I don't know.
That Beasley news would be big. Maybe D'Lo gets more extended run and guys like Prince. So.
Okay. Well, last game on the docket, and then we're out of here. You guys can get over to the deeper dive on the Awesemo channel, and then those of you that are in the VIP can get into the Discord. Remember, go to rundfs.com, get yourself signed up to a membership, and click VIP portals afterwards. Click that Discord link and click that spreadsheet link. We'll be in the voice chat, and if you didn't know, we have a free Discord, the Gundecker Gaming Discord. Get in that. If you are a channel member here, so like the channel members are like $5, whereas Run DFS is like $20 for a week. We have a channel members only channel for like those. If you link your YouTube with your Discord account, you'll have access to this exclusive channel. And tonight we'll post the prop detector. So our finished product prop detector, which is also behind the paywall at rundfs.com, we'll post that here. So if you are a channel member and you haven't linked, definitely do it. If you don't know how to do it, maybe look up a video. If chaos breaks out, DM me on Twitter or something. And then but these guys have been killing it. So make sure you're part of the free community because they're chopping it up. Those screenshots are nutty, and it's just been really, really fun to watch that community grow and cultivate with the right reasons, the right vibes, and it's high vibes, no haters in the house. Want to see everyone, each other, be great. Pelicans and the Lakers, last game on the docket. This is an hour and a half after that Nuggets game. The project starting five for the Pelicans: CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Herbert Jones, Jackson Hayes, and Jonas Valanciunas taking on Russell Westbrook, Malik Monk, LeBron James, Stanley Johnson, and Anthony Davis. Got 230.5 total, 1.5 point spread in favor of the Northern Pelicans. This game is essentially a playoff game for the Lakers, and it's reasonable to say that the Lakers, every game going forward, will be a playoff game. So do you believe in playoff LeBron? If you do, they got to win to stay on pace to catch the Spurs, and a win over the Pelicans could mean double because the Pelicans are 2 games above them, so they would add a loss to the Pelicans, add a win to them, and it would also help the Spurs out. So big game here in LA. Should be fun to watch because these are 2 teams, like these are actual dark horses for the postseason, right? No one's really expecting much from either, at least not smart people. But they're fun to root for. So, Josh, what do we take away from this game? I think LeBron James, we discussed how earlier this season when he was playing alongside AD and Westbrook, and we're talking end of December, January, where, all right, Westbrook running the ball up and down the court wasn't really working out for him, so they let LeBron take over the offense. Might see that today, so that might make him live to hit that triple-double. I might have to raise my minute projection on him. Right now I got him low. But when guys like LeBron and AD come back from injury, really anyone comes back from injury, especially AD in this case, he's been gone for months. I really don't know what's a safe minute projection to put on him. Because like I said, the sense of urgency, the need to win is so high. But you're also wrestling with their with their bodies. So I don't know what to put on the projection for them. I'm fine with believing that LeBron James could play 38 minutes tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know what to put on Anthony Davis.
Wait, there was that last time he came back from being out for extended time. I feel like he got pretty decent run, if I can remember.
In his first game back last time.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go pull it up.
That was this season too, wasn't it?
Yeah, he missed a big stretch. I want to say it was like December or January. Game log. All right, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was January 25th. He came back.
Yeah, 25 minutes, but then 2 days later, 34.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. It was the next game where he got up to 34. Yep.
I want to say Braun was out that game, but don't quote me. I feel like
yeah,
Braun...
you are right. I remember that specifically that LeBron was out.
All right. So,
which game?
The Philly game, the second game.
Yeah.
So I mean, with that said, I put 25 minutes on AD. He's 7,600. I mean, these are some of the lowest numbers you'll ever see on AD because of the circumstances. But I feel like I'm not gonna get there. But I also don't know that he's not gonna. It's like Paul George the other night, right? Didn't think he was gonna play 31, 34 minutes, and he did. This game means a lot. They gotta win. I don't know.
Yeah. So how many games can they afford to lose? I haven't calculated it.
I mean, right now they can only afford to lose games if the Spurs and Pelicans lose games. They're on the outside looking in right this second.
Yeah. Yeah, I think LeBron goes full run in if it stays close.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
And they have his prop up for assists, and it's under 7 like we wanted. Would you get behind that, or would we just take his fantasy or his points since he's gonna?
Did they drop his fantasy point prop?
Probably not. Probably just his PRA right now.
Okay. Well, I mean, we specifically said if Ron's assist number was under 7, we'd take it. Yeah. And there's no reason not to stick with that.
I think he's averaging on the seasons exactly 7 with 80 on the court.
That's fine. All right, so I would take that.
It's 25 minutes 80 though.
But that's if he's 25 minutes, right? Like, chat. True. Did I miss a quote from Vogel or anything like that? I don't see anything. Minutes. It says a minutes limit could be attached. Could be.
That's all it says.
Yeah. And
that's risky for prop betting. I get it for DFS, but
this is literally the Paul George situation the other night, right? He
Yeah.
came back and just went nuts. So
went from streak close to like 34 minutes.
Exactly. So it's something to think about. All right. So with those guys back, we haven't seen Westbrook be great on the court with LeBron and AD. So I could probably walk backwards on that. The Pelicans, CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram. These are guys that can cannibalize, vulture each other's ceilings, and J-Val's in the mix too. So I feel like I end up lower, but I also look at this 230 total, and yeah, this 242 sounds good. But 230 is nothing to shake a stick at. So maybe I should be putting McCollum, Ingram in my pool, and maybe I just go at most one of those two in a group on Cruncher. Because the upside in this matchup is still there. It's not like AD's the defense was great with LBJ and AD earlier this season. So maybe I just play ranges of outcomes and ownerships and group some of these players together and set some correlated if this then that stuff.
What's up with Ingram's minute cap? Is it just gonna keep going up, or have they said anything?
So this is another spot, much like AD, where they gotta win. Like they can afford a loss, maybe two, but you really think they have to?
Happened pretty hard though.
Yeah, they are 26-28 last two games. Maybe I'd stick to McCollum. I don't know. I don't see any specific quotes attached to that either.
I know there was some report that came out when he first came back, and we just got to dig that up.
It says Coach Willie Green cautioned that the wing will face an unspecified minutes restriction, and that was from the 27th. So
yeah,
he's played 2 games since then.
Both were close games too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I guess he did trend upward an extra 2 minutes the second game, maybe, and I put him for 30. I think I'm okay with fading Ingram and hoping he doesn't drop 70 on this slate because there's a lot of value at the forward guard spot.
But I mean, look how productive he is in this limited minutes.
Mm-hmm.
He just gets like his normal 8 more minutes or 10 more minutes. Yeah, you can put him in near 50.
All right. Well, there's that. We got to get into the RunDFS.com VIP Discord. Make sure you guys are in the free Discord if you're not in the premium one. There's going to be some content in there, especially for the YouTube members. Tomorrow, don't know for sure what the content schedule is tomorrow. Josh, are you doing a video for the wonky slate?
Yeah, I just don't know what to... I want to do a video, I just don't know how I'm going to do it because there's 2 games that start in the morning. Well, the morning for me. And then 3 main afternoon games.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
Would it be weird? I mean, not weird, but would it be worth even going over props for those early games? I just wonder how many people are actually going to play those 2 for props.
How early are we talking?
It's 9:30 a.m. and 10 a.m. for me, so that would be what 12:30 p.m. Eastern.
I guess people would, but the soak time would be pretty low. But I mean, we put whatever. Chat, if you guys want to see it, let us know.
Yeah, maybe I just won't go over them in detail and just call out because they'll probably have the props available tonight for those 2 games. So possibly. I can at least provide a couple from each game, just favorite props they have. Yeah,
maybe, or we could save that for the free Discord. And if we decide to put up content. Anyway, we should probably talk about this off the air. But, hey, guys, I appreciate you guys hanging out. Hit that thumbs up on your way out. Make sure you're subscribed. We're going to get in that premium Discord. I appreciate you making part of my day be part of your day. Tell somebody you love them because I love you. Good luck. God bless. Go win some money. guys.